Hey guys, so today I'm going to talk to you about your project 3, which, as I discussed earlier, is just going to be you guys taking your project 2 that's in AutoCAD and you're going to be bringing it into SketchUp and you're going to be modeling that space in SketchUp. So, to get you started, this is a process that I would recommend you guys take. I say that with an asterisk that if this process becomes too difficult, if you have too many issues in your AutoCAD model, then you are going to spend hours and hours and hours trying to get these lines cleaned up, and you'll see what I mean in a minute. Um, you'll spend just tons of time trying to get it all cleaned up, and it's not worth the effort, and it's probably faster to just build it in SketchUp, referencing your AutoCAD file. So let me just get started here. What I've got is I've got my AutoCAD file here. This is the one for my project 2, and what I've done is I've gone and turned off a bunch of the layers so I can see that I've apparently actually got some stuff on weird layer settings. So all I have right now is my walls visible, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to do File, Save As, and I'm going to save this as Project 2 Export. And the reason that I'm doing this is now that we're on the export file, I'm going to delete everything that isn't my walls. And I can show you the issue that that causes. So right now, if I go into SketchUp here, I import this, you can see that, okay, well, there's my walls, right? It's all good to go. No, it's not, because for whatever reason, let me see here. If I was to explode this, you can see that even though those layers are hidden, for some reason, all those hidden layers are still coming across in my model. So what would happen is so I can't see them here, but see how this line's cut? So when I go to start filling this in, you get a bunch of these weird shapes going on, right? You can see that this is where that roof angle was coming through. If I fill this in, you can see that this is where that roof was coming through, and it's got like the markers for things. And so all these things are still actually physically in that import, even though I don't want them to be. So let me just get rid of all of this here. Okay, so back in AutoCAD. What we're going to do is we're just going to delete everything else we don't need. And then I'm going to turn off my walls. And I'm going to turn on every other layer that isn't my walls, which is a couple. Oops. Turn it off. Get back here. Temp lines, and there we go. Oh, no, missed it. Okay, so everything except my walls is visible now. So now I can go through, delete all this, and then just turn on my walls, and there we go. So now I'm going to save this again. Give it a second. Okay, and then back in SketchUp, again, I'm going to go File, Import, because I did that kind of fast. We'll select the DWG that's right here. We'll do Import. And then here we go with our file. So now if I double click or triple click on these, you don't grab any extras, okay? If we look at this specific line right here, you don't see that that's broken in two, and that's what we want to try to avoid. So now that it's set up like this, I can go through with the rectangle tool and just start filling in the gaps for all my windows. And eventually I'll get my way the whole way around the model. It is dark in here, I can't see the keyboard. I should turn on a light, but we're not going to because we're stubborn. And once I make my way around the exterior of the model, it should start filling in, and I'm going to do this one just to see if we can get this area here. And there is one issue. So in the initial demo, I was showing you guys, hey, you should group your floors. And the reason why I was telling you guys that is because what happens with SketchUp is if your area is too complex, it won't fill in. So like it seemed to be fine for me, but like if I have this whole area here, yeah, this one filled in fine. But one issue that starts happening is, let me draw, like let's say the issue that we run into is if I have a bunch of live models, And let's pretend that these are all chair legs, except that they're just they're all way bigger than chair legs. And so what happens is if I have a bunch of stuff that would be really hard for SketchUp to calculate, if I go in and try and redraw this now, yeah, it's probably getting better. Darn SketchUp for getting better. Let me see if I can replicate it better. 1 second. Okay, well, I'm unable to replicate it, but one issue we've had in the past is I'll see students build a model, they'll be working on it for a couple days, and then they'll have all this furniture in here, and the feet of the furniture are live, accessible, touchable things that you can click on and not grouped. And then they'll put a bunch of furniture that's also live and accessible and not grouped on top of that. And then you'll have all these little chair legs poking through, and then at some point, just like their floor will disappear, and they'll go in to redraw the floor and it won't fill back in. Again, I'm not able to reproduce that. It's time maybe they've gotten that whole thing fixed. But that's again kind of why you want to make sure that you just have your floors grouped, and again, we'll do that after we get the walls up. So right now I'm at this point where I've got my walls outlined. So I'm going to get the push-pull tool, we'll deselect that, and we'll pull this up 8 foot. And then one tip for doing this a little bit quicker is once you've done one measurement, you can double click and it'll do that, it'll repeat that same one over and over. So I can just keep double clicking my way around. This is a little bit quicker than kind of typing it out manually every single time. So highly recommend this. Now, once we've got these measurements in here, that leaves our window and door gaps to fill in. So this, oops, and if you do need to, you can also reference. So I just lost it there, so I'll just do a reference for that one. So that gets us all of those. Now we can go back in and we need to do the heights of the windows. So if I remember right, these ones were 6'8". So there's a couple different ways you can do it. You can do a 6'8" guideline along the edge and just use this as a reference point along the outside of your building. I'm going to turn that off so I can see. So this gives a nice reference point that you can kind of quickly go. Actually, I probably don't need too many on that side. And we can also lock in the vertical and then reference as well. Did I not get the front? I did not get the front. Do need, well, these are going to be 7 foot, so I'll leave that one out. And then this one, and again, just remember I'm using the edge, not a midpoint. I think midpoints are fine though. Yeah. I'm using the edge and not a corner, and we're getting that snap. Okay. So there's a couple different ways you can do this. I've seen some people just kind of draw a rectangle at the top here and you end up with that being blocked. And so that's kind of an unfortunate side effect. So one way that I found to kind of get around that is if you take the window or opening that, come on, that you're working with, and then if I hit K, you can see what's going here. So we'll just draw a line back across and there. That should, oh, I didn't do the front. Let's do the front. That helps. So I've drawn this little bit right here. Let's turn off K again. And we'll reverse this. So now I've got this that is perfectly set up to fill in the same width slots. So I'll get myself in a position where I can just do a selection right across here and only grab this. And now I can take this and do a move copy to all the different spots that I need it to go to. So in this case, I've only got these two right here. And then I can take this again, and if I just move this to, let's say I want to fill in these doors. So this door is going to be a slightly different shape, so I will just push-pull this flat, and then we'll push-pull this across. Oh no, I gotta turn on a light. Okay, So we'll push pull this across, and then again we'll hit K. We'll make sure that there's nothing behind us right here because we are doing this selection in this view that could like grab other stuff. So I'm trying not to do that. So we'll take this, and again we'll reference this. So if I've got, say, this area, I need to rotate this door 90 degrees. So I will just rotate this into position, and then I'll hope that these are all the same size, and I could just kind of keep bouncing around doing the top framing for these, right? Um, so I could do the whole rest of this model, but this is the easiest way I've found to handle filling in the tops areas of these windows. Someone else might have different ways to do it, but that's how I do it. So then the next part is I need to fill in the vertical. I know that this is a bathroom window. It was 1 foot tall. So this is just going to go up to 5'8" from 6'8". And then any other bathroom windows, I'll just reference that height. These are not, so this one is going to be, I think these were 4 foot tall. I don't know, maybe they were 3 foot tall. Again, check your model, but oh, I can check mine. No, I'd have to load it back up. For my sake, I'm gonna assume they were 3 foot tall. So these are gonna be 3'8" from 6'8", and again, I can just reference this. And then when you go to clean these up, again, just hit K, and you'll just kind of get those lines that make up all this extra geometry here. The reason why you want to get rid of these is, if you remember when we were setting up the materials, anytime you have a line that subdivides a face, that creates a new face, and it's more geometry that you have to apply materials to or work around. So we're just trying to keep clean models. I want to see, I just zapped something there. So just keep an eye out when you're using K for anything that's behind what you're working on, especially when you get in areas like this. Just kind of get in there, make sure you're getting the right lines, rotate the camera if you're worried about it hitting anything else. And yeah, I just got one of the other ones there. So yeah, that's the process that I would use to prepare this. Again, if you are 45 minutes into cleaning up your model just to get the walls working, you've done either your export wrong, or you should just switch to manually measuring the rooms, because this should be a faster process, and I've watched entire classes get bogged down in it. So if it's not quick, don't do it. It should be quick. Anyway, so that's this demo. I just wanted to give you guys this, and I'll have your milestone posted. I will see you guys in class.